So if there's one thing you'd like listeners to take away from our program today, what would that be?
It really is that we need to get away from thinking about this as an individual problem and should I recycle or should I drive less? And somehow we need to figure out how to push the systemic change angle of this, because there are 100 million people in the U.S. that are alarmed or concerned about climate change. Most of them have no idea what they should really be doing to help promote systems change. And that's a real failing of the climate community to not be informing people on how they can do their best.
And what would that be? What could we do to, other than, what we've done in the past, which has gotten out in the streets?
Well,
that's how systemic change has occurred in democracies.
And that's
moms and dads and kids got out in the street and walked.
And that's absolutely one thing. Most people say, well, the way we get systemic change is by voting, and yet it's not at all clear that voting gets us systemic change in today's sort of polarized political world. But there are lots of things, including being out on the streets, that people could be doing that would be a lot more effective than recycling. But it's very hard for people to get that information. So in the short time we have, give me just one. Give me one thing that we could do to pressure systemic change. Well, by far the most important, the literature is pretty clear that the biggest single thing that anyone can actually do is to talk about climate change with their friends, their neighbors, their family.